Alright. The hunting's been terrible. The weather is even more terrible. But Drew and I have been talking. They say your first hunt's your best hunt. So we're fixing to Hail Mary this thing for the duration of this trip, unless we see something that makes us want to go back. And we may leave it. Even if we see a good deer, we may leave because the first hunt has already taken place. And that means it's just going to be worse the next go around. So anyway, we fixing to bounce up into the woods. Some new place. There's about 17 million campers there. Each one of them has a couple of hunters. That means there's about 34 million people. But that doesn't matter. I guess our thoughts are the more people that's in the woods, walking around, scouting, hunting, doing pretty much the same thing that we're doing, the more likely they are to stir something up. And we might be there to seize the moment. Alright guys, this is our Hail Mary, the first one of about 3 that we're going to do. But I want you to look at the absolute vastness of some of what we're trying to find one deer in. Anyway, just so you'll know exactly what we're working with. And we say Hail Mary, we mean that in the truest sense. We're going to bounce off into one of these little heads and
probably run every deer that's in them out.
Yeah, for sure. But that'll let us know if it's just worth coming back to. Anyway, we can call the people in the next county and say, hey, we just bumped them up, they're headed your way. So, all right, cool. All right, everybody. Per standard operating procedure in Missouri, it is still windy. But Drew said he bumped some deer on our Hail Mary at this new piece that we came to. And then sometimes you don't know what crops were planted until you walk in here and see. So I walked about a mile back and I didn't see any human tracks. I saw a lot of deer tracks. And there's probably a 10 to 15, it might be a little bit bigger than that. It's kind of weird shape, but anyway, soybeans that's been cut. And I don't think they picked them. I think they just bush hogged them down because there's a lot of soybeans in the field. And the one thing that we have noticed over the last couple of days when we're riding around, the deer are really keyed in on the soybeans. Had a lot of guys saying that they were finding some deer in the ridges. We couldn't find a sign of a deer to save our life on none of the ridges that we looked at. So maybe all the deer are on the same ridge. I don't know. Anyway, but I found this spot and I'm going to try to show you what I'm working with. Hold on. So this right here is hard to tell in the camera, but this is a deer trail. And then off over here to my hard right, there's a creek. And it's got a lot of like, not oxbows, but it's a lot of meandering going on. So I'm thinking the deer, if they're following this creek, they're not going to follow it right down the edge. I think they're going to cut off some of these little offsets and horseshoes that are here. And then right down here, this is a gas line that's running north and south right here. This is a spot where they are really coming across. So, and like right up through here and then going back this way because there's another one of the little loops or little horseshoe shaped parts of the creek, and I think they're just cutting it off. Then right down here, let's see if I can find it, there is an active scrape. You can't see it on account of there you go, maybe right there. And it's been worked, but probably not in the last, not since the rain, but probably worked yesterday. And so what I'm kind of hoping is that a deer course, they recognize the fact that their scrapes have been reined in, so hopefully he'll come by. And then they always put these scrapes in like hubs of trails and stuff. So maybe the buck that's laying it down, he might be a 4-point. I don't know. Hopefully we'll find out. And then, but either way, I'm pretty confident there's multiple deer coming through here. And good Lord willing, we won't get blowed out of this tree. And we'll see what deer's back here making these scrapes and what does he's making these scrapes for. Hopefully we can show you a picture. See ya.